Hello everybody, my name is George Brind on my YouTube channel Brind Productions, and I'm here today with my mum to give a very special update video. It's the first video of 2025 and I hope we've had a very good year and Christmas.
Well, we have had nice Christmas and New Year celebrations, it's true.
Yeah. So anyway, what's this update video about? Well, basically just to tell all of you people watching what's the current state of the channel. The first point I would like to stress, this set of notes here. How do we feel about the George Brind fan series special editions now that they have finished? Are there still some revisions that could be potentially done if we wanted to do some?
Well, I mean, first thing is I think the specials are absolutely great. I think a lot of improvements have been made from the originals in terms of sort of pacing, missing out bits of padding.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely.
Getting rid of some additional wind noise, which was quite troublesome in parts in the originals. Yeah, I mean, particularly, what was the second before last called?
The Death Zone, part one of The Desperate End.
Yes, part one of The Desperate End, where originally there was a whole load of running around in between sort of exciting bits of, including sort of special effects and appearance of various monsters, and I mean, the pacing was really not great, was it, before you did the special edition?
I guess in hindsight it wasn't. No.
I mean, there was too much running around between the bits, and yeah, I think that episode in particular is much better, and also the early ones where we were still really learning things about flow and camera angles and things.
Yeah, so I mean, they're still not perfect, evidently, there's still some evidence of, our sort of like early filmmaking skills and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, there were some places where we did change the footage that was used sometimes to an alternative take that you already had, but I mean, sometimes it was a case that there just wasn't an alternative take to use, wasn't there, and we had to go with what we had because that was only what we had. And so I mean, from that point of view, we'll never be able to make them what we might regard as, absolutely perfect, and there are probably still a few places where there is scope for improvement, but definitely a big improvement, I would say.
Yeah, well, I think, I guess if I had the time I'd be able to see if I could try and track down the original footage of Back from the Dead and see if it is feasible to have it downloaded again in much higher quality than it actually is. I mean, don't get me wrong, in the vision I have, it is sort of like better than in the original, but,
But we were at that stage using a different camera, weren't we? Is that right?
Yeah.
That didn't have high definition. Yeah, I mean, in the 10 years that we were doing the filming, home video making came on in leaps and bounds, didn't it? I mean, there was really quite different at the end from how it had been at the beginning with the high definition and the resolution and everything. So
yeah, so in summary, we're a lot happier, and I'm a lot happier as well with these special editions. If there's any improvement that may be made, that remains to be seen, and maybe sort of like in maybe 5 years time or 10 years time, if I think there are still some improvements to be made, then we might do them, but for now I am mostly satisfied with what we've done in these special editions. For those asking what happened to the original versions of the George Brind fan series episodes, basically they've been privatised. I haven't deleted them or anything like that, they've just been privatised for the time being. What I'm aiming to do potentially is some restored versions, like, present them for the most part uncut and as they were before, but, probably better quality than they were last time.
Yeah, I mean, I have to say, to be honest, I don't think anybody is missing out by seeing the specials as opposed to the originals, because there's nothing missing that one would say, oh, we haven't got that bit now, I would really like to see the original instead. I just don't think there is really a reason to see the originals rather than the special editions. I think, they're just improved throughout would be what I would say.
Yeah, but, I guess if there are those curious to see the originals, then, maybe...
Yeah, or just to sort of, I think it would be quite interesting for people to do a comparison between, in particular, that
Yeah, that long episode, the original version of the Death Zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, I think the special editions probably do genuinely reign supreme, unlike the special editions of George Lucas's original Star Wars trilogy. But you know, that's an entirely different topic. What's the latest on the Brind Who website? I may have mentioned in a previous video that I was working on a website. I'll be honest, not much progress has been done in the way of it, but you know, I'm still working on the detailed bios of our characters. I'm still sort of like trying to sort of like fully craft my own AU in this Brind universe of mine, as it were.
Yes, I think when it's done eventually, fully, it's going to be very, very comprehensive and really quite in your style of providing all the detail.
Yeah, well, you know, maybe we'll sort of like look on it and see if there's anything that can be condensed down. But what I want to do is to tell the people how this universe works, how it is different from the official universe and all that stuff. I mean, in the meantime, regarding the website, what I might do is sort of like put down everything that is important, the production history, the condensed character bios and all that sort of thing, and maybe put that up. And then once all the detailed bios are done, they will eventually sort of like be put on the website in due course. So, you know, you might go to the character page, see the condensed bios, and click the more information here bit only to find coming soon, but they will come when they'll come.
Yes, and I would actually suggest that the condensed bios might be all that some people actually feel that they need. I mean, you'd have to be a really strong, avid fan, wouldn't you, to want to read the whole long version.
Well, there are a lot of avid fans in this world, and you know, I think, like I said, people have the right to know what my universe is like.
Anyway, I think it's a good idea having condensed ones, because then people can choose how much they want to
and
to read or know.
And if they, you know, want the full picture, then they can go there. But yeah, that is the progress of the website, and well, it'll come when it comes. What is the status of the cancelled Rose prequel entitled The Doctor, which would have starred the Ninth Doctor and have been produced with action figures? I did say, sort of like in a previous vlog, that maybe I might make a discussion video perhaps about what was to come in said episode, the figures I was going to use and all that stuff, which I may possibly still do, but at the same time I have been thinking potentially about doing it as an audio story, perhaps like an audio book. And I know not everybody likes audio, but I think the truth of the matter is making audio books may be a much more easier way than doing things visually.
I mean, that is certainly true. It's definitely quicker and easier, isn't it? Yes, it just depends whether you want to spend all the time and effort on doing the fully fledged visual thing or not.
Yeah, but you know, I think there isn't this hassle of trying to get people together to do shoots and everything, and not the stress of sort of like, you know, making all these comprehensive sets, putting down action figures and all that stuff. It's just writing it down, you read, you're done.
Well, you could do audio for now, and then, I mean, that still doesn't stop in due course. If you actually suddenly felt inspired to do so, you could still do.
I don't know, I think I've sort of like given up sort of like trying to sort of like bring it to life visually. It might just be best all round to do audio stories, and you know, maybe if I do release it as an audio story and if it goes well, maybe I might do more audio stories that explores my own AU to the Brind universe, like maybe a more in-depth look at the Doctor's early life and the upbringing of the other, perhaps. But you know, I'm getting ahead of myself. So just to conclude this update video, what other content will be produced on the channel and or website moving forward? That is an interesting question. I think it's part of the course with any YouTube channel. How do you keep it going? And when I started creating the channel, my idea was that it was sort of like, you know, me doing Doctor Who related content. You know, this is my channel about Doctor Who related stuff. Doctor Who related stuff is sort of like the best way to go.
Yeah, you have been watching Classic Who again, and...
Yes, yeah, I was going to come to that, actually.
Oh, okay, I'm getting ahead of you then.
Yeah, so that's probably going to be one of the new videos on this channel, some review videos, where, in as much the same way Mum and I made videos on the Clayton Pictures YouTube channel talking about our thoughts on Jerry Anderson's Stingray and all that stuff, we are pretty much doing the same thing here with Doctor Who. Now, I know I did a marathon some time ago, but I didn't sort of like, you know, record me or my mum's opinions. We didn't go into all the ins and outs of the stories and properly review them. But this time we are, and we've come as far as story 6, The Aztecs, and we're due to doing the censor rights sort of like very soon. When will these videos come out? At the moment I don't know, but I think my aim is to sort of like, maybe I'll do a video per season. So, you know, like maybe when I get to the end of season 1 with the Reign of Terror, I'll put all the review stuff together, and then that first video will come out. So yeah, that's a lot to look forward to. And who knows, maybe if this goes well, maybe I might do a top 10 video of, you know, different stories or something. And, you know, maybe I might have more ideas for sort of like content on this channel, so keep an eye on. Anyway, I think we're done here. We're probably going to need to wrap this up, but we just wanted to tell you what was in store for this channel in the future. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like, or share. Stay safe, stay healthy, be kind to everyone you meet, and have an amazing day. Take care.
Bye now.